So here with the first Pokerlistings podcast episode, we've got CallMeLija on. Thanks for joining.
Thank you so much for having me.
Big shout out to WePro for helping set this up, of course. And I think I'll just get it started with asking how you got started in poker. Like, what got you into the game?
Oh yeah, the most interesting question.
Of course, standard.
Yes. But I have prepared a really interesting answer. So
perfect, great.
When I was living in Serbia, in Belgrade, my friends used to organize some cash games among each other. Then that went big. And I was helping them, and I was studying also programming along that. And I fell in love with poker. I was like, damn, this is really interesting. I love strategies. I used to play a lot of online games. I used to play Counter-Strike like a little dragon. And I was playing League of Legends. I think you maybe remember the game. It's called Age of Mythology, like the really old one.
Yeah, it rings a bell.
It's strategic, yeah. I played it so much when I was little. So, yeah, I was like, I really love this game. I should maybe even start studying or just going little bit into it. And then I moved in Malta. When I moved in Malta, I was surrounded by people that were like in poker, like either playing poker, streaming, casino, like in drop shipping and all those like a lot of gaming stuff.
Yeah.
I saw how they have like really nice communities. They love what they were doing, and I'm a social butterfly. Like I love speaking with people. I love communicating and hearing other people's stories, of course. And yeah, from that point, I was like, okay, let me start this. Like at least it's COVID. Everything is shutting down. In any case, I'm gonna be on my computer. And that's how I started playing. That's how I started streaming. And from that point, here I am now.
That's amazing. Yeah. I mean, I was going to say as well, like, you really came out of nowhere. I think it's just bad internet right now, but it should hopefully...
Oh, I think my camera, yeah.
Yeah, but I was going to say, so, like, I remember, like, because I've been, like, into poker since probably 2018, you know, like, deep in, like, this content creators. Funny fact, I used to be an intern at PokerStars in the PR department back in 2018. So that was really interesting because I went there and didn't know anything about poker. So when I was there, I think I bumped into Lex Veldhouse in the kitchen at the Isle of Man office. I didn't know who he was. I was like, oh hi mate. Yeah, I had no idea. I didn't know what poker was at that point. I didn't know what I knew of it in like a cultural sense, but I didn't know the game. Yeah, and then I remember seeing Spraggy as well. Didn't know who he was. It wasn't until the end of the time when I was at PokerStars, I was like, "This is amazing." You got Daniel Granu, you got all these people. Then I was going back to uni. So I was saying, so like you started in COVID, but then you really like kind of shot up more than anyone I've seen. You went from kind of like obscurity, you know, like because there's so many people all battling for content for attention at the content creation level, and then you just went right to the top. So like, what do you think you did in terms of like how you made content, how you play poker, that kind of got you to that level?
Oh yeah, interesting question, really, and really nice, interesting story. Your background, love it. Just want to say this that with my friend, when I was not in the poker, I went on a dinner and there was Patrick Antonius, and I didn't know who he is.
Oh my god!
I was like, damn, really nice looking person.
Oh yeah, no idea about all these crazy cash game stories you had that you could have said. No.
Yeah, exactly. Awesome. Then when I found out that when I went in the poker, I was like, damn. Damn. Yeah, so basically when I started, like, and when I do start, like, everything in my life, I love studying new things, like, I love just studying. I went with discipline. I just showed up every single day, not every single day, of course, but I just continued to show up. I continued to study. I really had lucky because I met my coach along the way, like exactly 1 year ago. He helped me so much through my poker strategy and poker game. I'm really thankful for that, Jared. Let's go. But I just kept the discipline. And I guess That's worked a lot, because I see a lot of people start and it's not for them and they give up, for example, or like they don't like the part of it and they just don't give up. Like a lot of people give up, and that's okay also, because if you find out that that is not for you, streaming is really, really hard. Like streaming and playing in the same time and studying poker, damn. Like, I don't know why I didn't sign up for that, but yeah, it's really hard. But it's just something that I really like to do. I love my people on the stream. I love Little Dragons. So yeah, I just kept showing up.
That's one thing I kind of took. The way you post content and the way I think you stream more than like most people I see. Like I tried, like I told you before, I had a go at streaming, and I got very disheartened, because it's like, you have to be very resilient, I think, as well, especially at the start. When I started streaming, I used to play like $5 tournaments, $11 tournaments, whatever. And there was actually, this is a funny story. One day I actually played by accident. I misregged a $5 satellite. Didn't know what it was for. I thought it was a tournament, and then finished the tournament. Won a seat to the next one. I was like, oh, whatever. Like I was grinding like 7-8 tables, streaming. I was like, whatever. And then started that into a 55. That went into a 530. Oh. And it was only then I realized, oh, I'm playing the satellite to a 5K buy-in. It was the PokerStars Titan, the one they do every Sunday. And I was like, oh, this is actually quite big. So then I was streaming. It was really cool. I think on my table was Tonka was on there. Lina, Nicholas Asta, he was on the table. It was just surreal. And then I won the seat. I won the seat. It was insane. And then I played the 5K on the Sunday. And Fedor was on my table at one point.
It's amazing.
But like I think doing that, I mean, it was pretty hype, because that was like one stream I had where I had like 70 or 80 people at one time. Mm-hmm. But I was like, man, it's hard. Like, I had to make a decision at that point. Like, do I keep doing all this stuff, promo and setting it up, or do I just say I'm going to study cash and tournaments and just leave it? And I decided take a break, leave it, and come back to it. But like you have continued. There's never been like really much of a gap. Yeah, I mean that's pretty impressive. Sure.
Thank you so much, but also amazing for that 5K. Like I can imagine the rail of people and just railing from them and the excitement. That's amazing. I love running.
Yeah, before I got the seat, actually, no one was watching it anyway. Like even on the satellite stream, because it was just like kind of happened. The only people that were watching were my two friends who I'm on with Discord, who I normally chat with while I'm playing poker. Yeah. But it was so crazy. 1 minute you're like playing all these $5 tournaments, and then you're like, it's me, Lina, and there was another guy who's like a bit of a reg who was playing for the seat, and it was just insane.
The experience,
it was so cool.
Wow.
So I was going to say as well, so you obviously went a rapid climb upwards. You're getting all these followers, getting all the views. What was it like when you took a sponsorship with GG? And was there like any other interactions with any other poker operators, or what was that like?
Yes. So from the beginning, I started collabing with Flip, which is Fantastic Ladies in Poker, run by Daiva. She is admin of that group, and now with numbers, I think around 10K, just women on Facebook group, and they also have like other social media. So I started like seeing really huge potential in it, because there's not a lot of women in poker, and I want to represent that along with Lija. So she's still collabing with the GGPoker, and I always loved their software. I think it's really, really smooth. I think it's really nice, and it's a really you feel it just easy when you're playing, even when I'm losing like those monster pots, but still good.
Do you never get tilted by the peel? No, as well?
Oh my god, I needed to turn that off, because like I'm so impatient. Like, bro, like just give me the card.
It's just like there's nothing like getting too outed as you slowly peel. Like no 9. Oh. But yeah, I do agree though. I think in terms of software, it's so smooth and nice to play on. Like best software, I think, for sure. 100%.
Definitely, like, and it doesn't crash a lot, and it's just like so good. And I always liked like how they do with the team, like with their team. I loved how Kevin Martin was doing his stuff. Pav, for example, Egyptian, and it just like. It felt really, really nice, and it felt really similar to what I was doing. So I went I went to work with them. They just offered me sponsorship because they saw a potential in my stream and in my social media, of course, just growing. And yeah, of course, I will keep on growing. I have big goals when it comes to that. And yeah, it just happened like that. But I, from the beginning, let's say I was aiming for that.
Right, that's perfect. So how excited were you when you got that kind of like confirmation that you're going to be GG
I was excited
sponsored?
like a little Drake. I was like, yeah, that's how we do it.
That's like, I don't care what anyone says. I think when you become a poker content creator, as much as you want to do it for the love and the fun and stuff, I think that's the goal. That's what you want to do. Anyway, when I started, I do enjoy content creation. I do enjoy this. I enjoy writing more probably about poker, but I enjoy making vlogs and stuff. But it's not that fun when you're playing a tournament 10-handed. You're trying to hold your phone. You've got aces. There's a 3-bet, 4-bet. Some guy's like having a go at you for having your phone out. It's like, it's hard. Yeah. It's really hard to be a content creator. So I think must have been very rewarding to get that at that point.
Oh yeah,
all the hours and
all
the grind.
Exactly. It feels really rewarding because then you just sit there and think like, is this worth like what I'm doing? Will I get it? Like, will I succeed in this? Of course, there are some doubts, but along the discipline and because at the beginning, I was playing tournaments. I was just like clicking buttons because I didn't know anything, and I got a lot of hate in the beginning. People were like, "Oh my god, what this girl is doing? Like, Jesus Christ, what is like?" I really didn't know. And funny story, one time I entered the short deck tournament, and it was like maybe first month of me playing poker, and I won the second place, and I didn't even know that was short deck. I thought it was like just low limit hold'em.
Oh my god, that's amazing.
I'm getting so many good cards. Like, I'm so lucky.
I'm running so pure. I'm getting aces every other hand. This is crazy.
Yeah.
Amazing. So I guess kind of following on from that kind of stuff. Well, obviously, like being a content creator, you're always under the microscope. Someone's always. No matter what happens, it feels like there's always a troll. There's always someone to like.
Oh yeah.
Say something. What would you say is like the best thing, and most rewarding thing about being a content creator? But what's like the worst as well?
The best thing is like that you can have all those people, which I'm really grateful to have, like the people that show up also on those streams and they see you growing and they grow along with you, because I love to explain what I'm doing on the stream, and they just see that it's possible to grow, like that it's possible to learn, study, and stream in the same time, and just to be, I don't know, to be resilient whatever happens like in your life. But maybe the worst thing is that sometimes you feel pressure. You feel pressured, like I need to put myself out more there. I need to work more. I need to just crush it. And then, of course, when that happens, you sometimes burn out. And when you burn out, then you need to learn more about meditation, about like other stuff that helps a lot to just calm down that inner like chatter. So yeah, and also probably the time. I would say for me it's okay because I'm cash player, but for tournament players like it's probably like I think the worst part is like putting in a lot of time.
Yeah. A lot of time. And you can't quit, right? The cash, you can play a session. Yeah. And then if you're not feeling it, just stay in there.
You're just like, yeah.
I'm not running well today. You know, you lose 3 buy-ins first 15 minutes. I'll leave it today. But yeah, tournaments are stuck. Exactly. I mean, that's why I love watching. I don't know who your favourites are in terms of content creators, but I think like Ben CB. I think watching him change my mentality on poker, because this guy will be in the hole for like 150k in tournament buy-ins and just like same expressions, like doesn't change his way of playing, no demeanour, and then just keeps playing. And I think that's really amazing. And also, like, what's amazing is these people will still give him crap. You know, he's one of the best tournament players streaming. People will still say, "Hey, you played that hand wrong" in the comments.
Of course, like But whatever you do in life, people will be there, and just some of the people will judge. Definitely, whatever you do, like if you're a Mother Teresa, like for example, they're just gonna go there and say something bad. But yeah,
I think it's really interesting what you said there about how like you can the way you build a community and you see these people develop with you, like. You know, it's something that I've kind of spotted in some communities, like Kevin Martin, for example. He'll have people that have been there for years watching him play, right from his PokerStars days to now where he's at GG. So yeah, I mean, that must be really cool to see these people come and root for you every week and every session even.
That's amazing feeling. I got even chills now. Like that's really amazing, because when I see there people are just coming in the chat and like, hey, call me Lija, hey Lija, like it just brightens up my day a lot. Like a lot. I know cool. that they care. I care about them, and that's really amazing. That's awesome. Really nice feeling.
So you went from barely knowing what short deck was a couple of years ago to now you're battling in 200 Russian cash, right? Is that where you're at now?
200 NL regular tables.
Regular tables, okay. Tables.
Yeah.
So how do you find that kind of like... Because I feel like with cash games, it's like completing level. You start at like 25 or 50 or whatever. When you get a win rate, even if it takes you like a couple 100,000 hands, you're like, okay, I've completed that level. Time to go to this level, like a game, right? And then you keep going up.
Exactly, yeah.
How have you found that journey so far to where you are?
Oh, I absolutely loved it. Right. Absolutely loved it, because you know, when you're at the beginning, you don't know a lot of stuff, so your studying curve and your knowledge curve just goes up like really high. And I was so thankful to have my coach. I started like playing. It was exactly 1 year ago, like in 1 month. I started playing from 5NL, 10NL Russian cash, and honestly, when we had first coaching session, my brain exploded. My brain went in a mush. Like literally, I was like, "What is this guy showing? Like, what is this? Do I need to like know?" But I started being so interested, and I'm stubborn when it comes to studying. I really need to understand what I'm studying, and we went with aggressive bankroll management. So, for example, when I had at 25 NL, when I had 20 binds, I went on 50, and I just didn't drop the stakes like at all. I just continued to study and finding like a lot of patterns, a lot of strategy patterns, and still doing that.
That's really cool. So your coach is Jalderman, right? Is that how you say it? Jalderman?
Yes, Jalderman.
Jalderman, yeah. I mean, there's an amazing video. I remember, was it a couple of months ago or maybe a year ago now, where he was on your table playing like PLO or something, and he started using the GG cam, was like slapping his stomach and dancing.
Yeah, like, of course.
Because when I first saw it, I was like, I didn't read the like caption that said it was your coach or anything. I was like, GG's crazy. Like GG's wild. Like there's these people doing that on the camps. Like,
yeah, that's my coach.
Because he's a really. I mean, I think I've seen him playing like Ignition, right? Or is it Bravada and stuff like? So how have you found working with him, and what would you speak to about him?
So he messaged me. He sent me an email. Actually, he asked me like, do I want to collab with him? And I was first like, I didn't hear about him. But why would somebody want to scam me if somebody wants to give me their knowledge? You know, and I was like,
you can't lose, right? You're free rolling.
Yeah, exactly. So when we started speaking, I was like, okay, this guy knows stuff. So that's how we started collabing, started having sessions, and now actually it grew more than just being a coach and student. He is really one of my best friends now. So
that's awesome.
Yeah.
So like, I guess like, do you go for like solves and run through spots and go through pre-flop stuff?
Yeah, we do a lot, and he now and his team are developing a new poker app, which won really, really good awards for the best IE out there for poker. It's called Ruse, and it already has a lot of great features. So I'm studying there constantly, using also PO Solver and like different methods. Also, I have Poker Book, which is really famous among my community. I have huge notebook where I put all the strategies in, where I just like to write, because it's scientifically proved when you write things down, you're going to remember them faster.
Definitely, yeah.
So, yeah, I just write patterns, use all those markers. I know what people going to say, like, it's girly notes, but no, it's just, like, helps me.
Yeah, I'm the same. Like, I'll watch, if I'm watching a video and have to play, like, the big blind, for example, I'm the same. If I'm just watching it, I don't think it's going to sink in. But if I write down my interpretation and maybe like just like summarize, I think it helps sink in 100%. It's really interesting to hear you say all this stuff and then hear what you said about content creation at the start. it's like the same thing, right? Discipline and learning and like being like stubborn with it and resilient to it.
Yeah.
It's like they go hand in hand, I think, honestly. I don't think it's like a coincidence that a lot of these streamers that you see, like, you know, you said Egyptian, Kevin Martin, yourself. You know, I guess GGPoker, I don't think he streams as much, but he's part of like the GGPoker team.
Yeah.
Like, all these people are amazing people at what they do, especially at playing poker. I think they go hand in hand with building a community for sure.
Yeah, definitely. And you just like need to build that discipline, and you just like need to love that. You need to like that. Like if you don't like it, it's okay just to leave it. You will find like definitely something that suits you or whatever. But if you don't like it, you're just gonna end up hating it.
Yeah. I guess a good question. Actually, you spoke about Flip, and I've heard a lot about Flip before. They're doing amazing work in terms of helping female inclusion in poker. Do you think poker's made strides in the last like year or two? And do you think like what do you think could be done more as well for women in poker?
For women in poker, definitely promoting it more on social media. That is not that only men are playing it. Just being probably also nice with women on the table. I heard a lot of horrible stories, and I really don't want to experience that. But also, for example, when I go in a local casino to play, like men are so not used to like women playing. They're gonna be like, "Oh, you're the new dealer. Like you're this." No, I'm playing, and I'm here to take your money. So
yeah, you're probably better than them, honestly. But yeah,
I think it's just a lot of promoting on social media and to present poker not as something that is like gambling or like going there with pure luck, wherever. It's just like something that is really interesting, and the strategy behind it is beautiful. So I think a lot of girls could get like into it.
I think so. I mean, like from my experience in the last year, I've seen. I don't know if you've heard of her, called Angela Jordison. She's in like the US. Mm-hmm. She's won like she's had some huge deep runs in a load of events, and I think she recently won like a WSOP circuit event, like a high roller.
Amazing.
Like, she's just crushing it, like, you know, it's really cool. And then in the UK, we've got somebody called Katie Swift, who's, again, same kind of thing, a tournament crusher, like, just playing in the high stakes we have and just crushing. I think there's a huge gap in the market for, like, really talented, like, you know, women who love strategy, who love these kind of games, just gonna have a really good time.
Exactly. Like, and all those like events are amazing for meeting new people, I guess. And I'm gonna do a lot of content where when I go in Vegas this year. So I'm gonna do a lot of content with women in poker. So I think it's gonna push it a bit at least. So
that's a big bombshell. You're going to Vegas this year for the Workers' Week.
Oh yeah.
So on a scale of 1 to 10, excitement, it must be 11, right?
Yeah, 100.
First time.
First time, yep.
First time, awesome. So what's like you're gonna play a couple of bracelet events and
yes, and cash games a lot.
Cash games. I mean, I've heard the cash games are really good during the series.
Yeah.
So awesome. That's
they
really cool.
told me prepare the bankroll because it's going to increase.
Awesome. So I guess that goes into one of my questions. So like you've obviously got the whole 2023 ahead of you. What's your kind of goals and aspirations for the year? Have you got any set?
Yes, I definitely have. I love setting new goals, and I love to just like write some of my purposes in life, which is to help people. I want to spread awareness, like about mental health and about like anxiety, because a lot of people, especially like streamers, people that are putting themselves like out there, let's say in front of camera, and people that are not doing that, of course. And I found out that a lot of people are struggling with that pressure, anxiety, stress. And I experienced something like that, like in past few years. And I know how much it can be challenging. So I want to spread that on my social media, actually like help people that are going through that. I want to put a lot of more content around poker. I'm going to start vlogging more, and I'm going to continue studying, of course, playing, and my goal is to, at the end of the year, to play 500 or 1K NL.
Awesome. You're on the way, for sure.
Thanks.
Very exciting. And obviously, in terms of live stuff, you've got Vegas. That's the big one.
Yes, Vegas, probably Cyprus.
Okay.
Not probably, for sure, like in September. Now maybe London or Manchester in February or March, when Flip is gonna make the live event, and for the rest of it, like I'm gonna see probably Prague later, and yeah.
Awesome, exciting.
Okay.
So actually, it's something that you mentioned earlier about when you start playing poker. I forgot to ask. So did you? Because obviously this is like a typical thing for anyone who takes poker pretty serious. What did you say to your family and friends? How did you explain it wasn't like just giving your money away? Which is like what they all think.
Yeah. So my mom and dad, like, they didn't question it a lot, because I was on my own when I was 15 years. I started like earning money and like earning for myself like when I was already 15. So they were like, probably you know what are you doing, so just good luck with it.
Nice.
Yeah, and my sister fully encouraged me to do it, because she saw like the potential in it, because I really loved it. I was really hyped up, so yeah, they were okay.
Really cool.
Yeah,
that's awesome. I mean, for me, everyone I knew that doesn't know poker, thankfully a lot of my friends are in poker, but the ones that aren't, they just assume I'm some kind of degenerate gambler that just has a bit of a small problem, you know. It's only when I showed my mum and dad like my graphs of like, oh, I'm actually making money playing. They're like, oh, okay. Like, so maybe my mum was like, maybe quit. Now you're ahead. And I got quite excited. It's like, oh, keep going. Like, can you play more?
Yeah, people can be like a bit sometimes judgy, because of course, like I mean, it's represented out there like as to not our community, poker community, but to people outside of it. It's just represented as something that is like, oh my god, you're gonna lose all the money. It's like gambling, etc., etc. But like,
yeah,
I think
or isn't
because
it
of
rigged? That's the one I hear a lot. Is it rigged?
Yeah, of course.
Like, sometimes I think so. I've had a bad session. Yeah, maybe.
Of course, not the variance at all. Like,
yeah,
just
rigged.
Exactly.
So this is obviously a very generic one, but do you have any poker memories which like stand out for you? You know, your favorite memories in poker so far?
Members in poker?
Memories.
Memories. Okay. Probably when I was running really deep in 1050 ticket in GG Masters. Oh my god, that was amazing. I had like around 2,000 people watching the stream at that point, and I was running so deep. I finished 13th, and it was just amazing feeling. I was so full of adrenaline. I couldn't sleep that morning, like at all. It was 7 a.m. I think when I finished. People were like, oh my god, like, I don't know, cheering me so much. It was amazing. So I think that...
You played from the start, to the end, right?
Yes.
How many hours was that?
I think around like 8 or 9. I couldn't feel my spine after it.
Just sat there like tense. I can imagine at the end, like, you must be just sat. Every hand is like huge, right? You get a good spot, like the ICM in value.
Yeah. Every hand is like. Yeah, I couldn't feel my spine. I felt like snake after it. Just like went like this in my bed.
Yeah, I think my first ever deep run like that was, you know, the GG Millions $50 one.
Oh yeah.
So I shot took that like 2 years ago, one just randomly. Made the day 2 with like 10 bigs, so just like, oh, can I get in the money? And then just span it up, like made some sick folds as well. Like folded jacks like a 3-bet. So I was like, yeah, these guys are never getting worse. And that was great, good fold. And then I think I came 900th or something crazy like that, or like 10,000 or whatever. How many people enter?
Amazing,
It was just crazy run. You know, you sat there like, what is going on? Like,
yeah, so that feeling, I know, like unreal.
Yeah. And that's what the thing with tournaments, right? Is I'll get sick of tournaments. I won't want to play them ever. Even live tournaments, I played quite a few recently just because of like boredom. I want to hang out with my friends and play. But I just like hate that. I hate the idea of sitting at a table live, putting all these hours into something. You know, you're playing like 20 hands an hour or whatever, less, and then you're just like, oh, I'm bust. Like I blind out and I've got 10 bigs and just run into it. Whereas cash, you cash, you can multi-table. There's always something going on.
Yeah.
But like you said, the thing that keep me in tournaments is that dream of having that kind of run. Where you just keep winning, you keep winning the flips, and then before you know it, you're like 13 away. Like that's crazy.
Yeah, the hype and adrenaline and like all those feelings, amazing. Like I was like, oh my god, this is how tournament players feel. Okay,
I'll do this every week.
Yeah, sure I did. Went on cash like immediately tomorrow.
So I guess just kind of like wrapping up, what would be your advice to you, like I guess to yourself? So say you had yourself at the start of the journey in front of you. What kind of bits of wisdom and advice would you give yourself?
Definitely stress less. Everything passes, like happiness, sadness, whatever, like good or bad, it just passes. It's really important to maintain peace. To continue to meditate, I guess, to take care a lot of my body, because our body is our temple, and if we don't have health, we don't have anything. To read more, and to just be more curious. Yeah.
Brilliant, that's great advice. That's awesome. I guess just to end, is there anything you want to add, like anything that you got coming up or you want to promote, or?
No, I'm okay. It was really, really amazing conversation. I really enjoyed it.
It's really fun. So where can people find you? Obviously, you got Instagram, Twitter, Twitch.
Yes, everywhere, like on every single social media, I'm CallMeLija. So
cool. We'll post it on the podcast page, but and obviously on YouTube and stuff. But yeah, thanks for joining me, Lija, for this episode. And
thank you so much for having me.